Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And, of course, taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. On today's episode, we talk about Friday Night Smackdown, where we got some new... Oops, hold on. My thing is going off here. Where we got some a new record for tag team excellence.
Yes.
In the WWE. What is happening right now? Oh, hold on a second. One of these things is... Hold on, wait.
What?
Stop. I hear my headphones going off too much. There we go. Anyways, also on this episode, we're talking about AEW Rampage. And we got a bunch of news, too, because it's Monday, so there's always news.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about... Oh, man, this is going to be a good one. Steve Austin looking jacked. Rumors of him coming back to Wrestlemania. And we're going to talk about who we want to see him in a match against, Larson, because that's always fun. Also, could be huge changes to the War Games plans with news that a top WWE wrestler has possibly been injured at a house show this past weekend. So we'll talk about what changes could be made. But first, let's talk about this. One of our favorite wrestlers, a man who used to go by the name of Walter, now goes by GUNTHER, the Ring General. Apparently, Vince McMahon had wanted to bury him, but Triple H has other plans. Larson, what's going on here?
So back in August, WrestleVotes reported that prior to his resignation from WWE, Vince McMahon wanted to bury current Intercontinental Champion GUNTHER. And today, WrestleVotes via Give Me Sport offered up some more. This is what WrestleVotes had to say, quote, "I know that Vince McMahon just didn't like what he saw on Raw and was over him." Apparently, me interject here for a second. Apparently, it was the segment on the July 4th episode with GUNTHER and R-Truth. That's what it stemmed from. And I remember watching at the time and hearing this and thinking, I remember watching it and then hearing this and thinking, what was there was nothing wrong with it.
I think I remember. I remember hearing that too. What was the nature of that segment? I mean, it was probably just an R-Truth thing, right?
Yeah, as R-Truth, I believe he came out dressed as Uncle Sam, and Walter just attacked him. They had a match. GUNTHER won. That was it.
Yeah, who knows what goes on in Vince McMahon's mind.
So going back to WrestleVotes, they say, "I know that Vince McMahon just didn't like what he saw on Raw and was over him, like legitimately wanted to bury him, go back to NXT, that type of stuff." Continues, "GUNTHER is going to be around for a long time. He's got real potential as a heel, and he's going to be here for 10, 12 years. He's going to open some shows. He's going to close some shows, but he's just going to be a solid match every night. That's what Hunter sees in him right now. Hunter likes him, and he's going to give him a shot. People are starting to understand what he is, and the Clash at the Castle deal with Sheamus helped." So, shortly after WrestleVotes' initial report back in August, Ludwig Kaiser was asked about rumors of GUNTHER getting buried in an interview. I don't know if it's W-A-Z or WAZ or how you pronounce this, so I'll just say W-A-Z because it's a German outlet. Saying the following, these transcripts come to you from Sportskita, quote, "I don't know anything about the rumors. It's also usually the case that we don't let it get to us like that. From our side, we have been totally satisfied since we started on SmackDown. We've had a great reception there. The feedback has been positive right from the start. We can't complain about our TV time either. When you look at what we've done in a few months, even with GUNTHER's Intercontinental Championship title, it speaks for itself. Of course, there are always rumors here and there, but a lot of it is just not true." And then a few days after WrestleVotes' first report, GUNTHER was asked by Woody Whittier about his time at WWE, which GUNTHER responded. These transcripts come to you from Fightful. "It's been very good so far. I signed with the company in 2019 for NXT UK. I can't complain. It's been really good. Basically, from the person I've been before on the independents, I'm still myself. I've always been treated with respect and always had the freedom to be myself, more or less. That's still the case to this day."
Dude, who is this? Will Terminator here on our Twitch chat. By the way, we're also on YouTube Live. What's up, everybody? What's up?
Hi,
YouTube?
everybody.
Will Terminator mentioned this, and I wonder if there might be some truth to it. He says Vince wanted Walter to really dial in the foreign heel gimmick. I imagine he's just speculating. That's not completely out of the realm possibility. Vince he's still up until his last days, his sad last days, if you will. He had that old mentality, where it's like, if you're going to introduce, anybody who doesn't speak with like an American accent or whatever, they're going to be an evil foreign heel. Like, and I know there are exceptions. There are obviously some exceptions, but a guy like Gunther, it makes me wonder if like maybe that's, Vince was like, I don't see it. He needs to be more anti-American or whatever. I don't know. That's just pure speculation, but I think it's fairly educated speculation based on what we know of Vince McMahon. So who knows what the reason was? Vince obviously, on his whims change on a dime, and that was one of the issues with WWE programming, is that he seemed to forget week to week what matches had already happened, and he'd program. So there was like an amount of odd redundancy and odd unpredictability, because it's like the storylines were never unpredictable because of some clever plot lines. They were unpredictable because Vince would just sort of change his mind at the last minute. I don't like this guy. I do like this guy. So I don't know. I mean, who knows? There's a lot of I don't know, but I like the idea that Triple H, being in charge and building up Gunther the way he has with that Intercontinental Championship, really making something out of that title again after it being meaningless for so long. Yeah. They had so many opportunities to raise the profile of that, back when they did the brand split in 2016.
Yeah.
And, I know AJ had held it for a second. And it was like, okay, maybe they are going to put it back on the workhorses, because that was always the thing. But like, really, it was a small window of time when it was like the workhorse title, or even like the title that it was the launching pad title for something more. It's been forever since it's been any of those things.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that this is the case. And maybe once the Roman era is done with, and the titles get split again, if that's the plan, and it seems to be the plan, Gunther will have a shot at being a world champion. I don't expect him to be the guy to take it off Roman, but I'd be delighted if that was the case.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah, Gunther's great. We've been huge fans of Walter for a very long time here, and it's pretty self-evident that Triple H is also a huge fan of Walter. Given, I know pandemic had something to do with it, but I had a feeling that Walter was going to have an insanely long NXT UK title reign regardless, because I know they shut down for a spell. But whether that had happened or not, he was going to have a really long reign. Because I think Triple H realizes, and as does most people who watch wrestling, that he's a fantastic talent.
Yeah, he is.
Who put on matches that look legit. They look like fights.
His is the biggest. When you see him and Sheamus, you don't as much as I love Walter the character. I love what he was doing with Ludwig when Ludwig would lose and have to sit there and take his punishment.
Yeah,
I loved that stuff. I'd like to see more of that. But I as much as I love his character, you could just put him in there and that you're going to get a banger of a match night after night. And the crowd responds to it, man. They really, really do.
They do. I mean, look at Cesaro. He got insanely over.
Yeah, right.
For a long time with basically just like the bare minimum of character and the strength of his in-ring work.
Yeah.
He was incredibly over, and a lot of people were saying, hey, put the world title on this guy because he's that damn good.
Yeah. I see a bit more in Gunther though, and yeah, if he ends up being a world champion, I think that could be a lot of fun for the company.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you build him up like the unbeatable monster,
which they have done a really good job so far.
Both. I mean, since he signed with the company, pretty much.
We should really do. It might be like a list that's too big to be contained in one. But I've been thinking about doing like another count out at some point soon. I mean, we got the holidays coming up. We should probably consider that anyways.
Exactly. Take some time off.
But wrestlers who have benefited most. I mean, there's a couple wrestlers who really dodged a bullet when Vince McMahon stepped down because, it was kind of obvious they were on the downturn. I did a WrestleJuice video recently of people that, wrestlers that Triple H have quote unquote left behind, people that we haven't seen a lot. And then this past week, like half of them showed up, like Jinder Mahal showed up. Lacey Evans seems to be getting some sort of, and I wonder if some of it is like Triple H, the people who really weren't being serviced all that well. Like Lacey Evans is a great example of this. Like we sort of saw her, get to say a little piece, and maybe they're going to do something with her now. And maybe he just cooled off on her for a little bit because it was so confusing what was going on with Lacey Evans before. It's like, was she a good guy or a bad guy? What was the deal with that?
Yeah.
And it's nice to see more people get more spots on TV this week, and it doesn't really. There's really besides like Reggie. Like I think Reggie's had literally one match, and that's even including the live event stuff. I have not seen any matches. Maybe he's messed around on the 24/7 stuff. I don't know. Yeah, but Reggie has been nowhere to be found whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't really see him being much of a Triple H guy, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. Maybe he'll be world champion one day.
Who knows? Speaking of someone who could be world champion, Kevin Owens. So with the men's War Game match starting to take shape, come together after what happened at the end of SmackDown, there's a lot of speculation, even before the end of SmackDown, honestly, that Kevin Owens could be a part of men's War Game match. In this instance, joining Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre to take on the Bloodline. However, Wrestling Observer is reporting that Kevin Owens suffered a knee injury during a match against Austin Theory at a WWE house show over the weekend, reporting that Owens apparently suffered an MCL sprain to his right knee, though Wrestling Observer adds, quote, the way it was worded was that hopefully that is all the injury is, with the idea that it could be more than that. You'd think that if Kevin Owens was part of War Games, that would be the start of whatever story is going to happen between him and Sami Zayn that would build to them eventually taking the tag titles off the Usos. And if he can't be in War Games match, hopefully this injury isn't severe. That's something that would keep him out a protracted amount of time, like, some sort of ligament tear.
Yeah, if it's a tear, it's going to be a bit. If it's only a strain, then it could be 1 to 2 months is what I was reading about that.
Yeah.
And Kevin Owens, he's a tough son of a bitch. If it's, God, I don't know, man. 2 weeks is like, it's a week from this Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's pretty soon. I don't know. But
yeah.
So let's say it's not Owens. Let's say, they have to take him out of the equation, which would be unfortunate. It's not just any match. It's War Games. War Games.
And it would help to have him in there because he's got War Games experience. He did one of the NXT ones.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
So if we take Kevin Owens out, so I'm looking at the SmackDown roster.
Is Owens? No,
he's on Raw. Guy? He's on Raw.
My first choice would have been Gargano.
Yeah.
I know he's in a thing now with the Miz, but we're talking about replacements, so you gotta change some stuff up. You could do. There's any number of people. Like you could do Shinsuke. He's had some beef with the Bloodline. He never really got that title shot he should have had.
Any sort of opportunity. What about Hank Walker?
Is he listed on the SmackDown roster?
No, I'm looking through NXT right now.
Oh, Grayson Waller. He's got War Games experience. Oh, he could be a good guy.
Yeah.
I put Cross on the team. Who says E-Dub says Cross?
Yeah, they probably try to make a phone call to Brock Lesnar or somebody like that.
Ooh, I like this in the YouTube chat. Jer says Wade Barrett. That'd be sick.
That would be pretty cool.
He comes out, he's like, oh, Sheamus and Drew, I've got your back. I've got bad news, Bloodline.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I'm a bare knuckle champion. Wasn't he a bare knuckle fighter at one point? Yeah. One of his gimmicks? Yeah. That was cool. Then I think he got injured. Dean Ambrose.
White Brownie says Von Wagner.
Von Wagner. How about this? Joe Blow.
Dumpster champ.
Roman Reigns. Who's that? You mean Joe Blow?
Depending on how he fares in this World Cup, you can get Braun in there.
Oh no, you don't need me. LA Knight.
Yeah.
Braun's well, he was going to take on Rey Mysterio. Now he's been pulled, so now it's vacant. He's going to be taking on vacant now. I saw that on the preview. Yeah, well, you know who it's got to be, man. They got to run back Amos. What they got to do. Is Amos even on SmackDown?
No.
I don't think they really care about that stuff, though.
No, I don't think so either, because...
Where's Amos from?
Because Mustafa Ali is a Raw competitor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oops, sorry, says Riddle to reform the Broserweights.
He's so cold right now.
Really
I thought about that. If this was like a year ago, I'd been like, oh, Riddle. He's so cold right now. Yeah. But you never know. Maybe it's a way to
propose a name. How about Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Oh, what? He's looking jacked these days. That's right. So, video dropped over the weekend after a rumor last week got out, I think also from WrestleVotes, that Stone Cold Steve Austin would consider another match. One more match. One more time down the road. And so video dropped of him doing some workouts. Lat pulls.
Great shape.
And he looked amazing. He looks great. So with WrestleMania 39 around the corner, we're almost on the road to WrestleMania, Larson. It's a long road, mind you. It's still 6 months out, but still 5 months out, whatever. It's still a ways off. Stone Cold Steve Austin in training, by all accounts, including his own. He had a great time last time. Vince McMahon put in the call. Stone Cold Steve Austin said, all right, I'll do it. If the game puts in the call, hey, my Triple H is not very good. I know you're going to talk to him later on in the show.
Yeah.
For his Raw preview.
Why don't you stick around? You can talk to him too.
No, I have so much business paperwork to do.
Why don't you?
I have so much business paperwork.
Why is there a never-ending pile of business paperwork every Monday and Friday?
That's what I take care of. It's over here, man. This is what I got to do.
Don't believe
so he's coming on the show a little bit later. But if Triple H put in the call to the Rattlesnake, and during one of your calls with Triple H, if he asks you, hey, Larson, what do you think the Rattlesnake should do at WrestleMania? What'd you tell him? What'd you say? Come on.
What'd I say?
Yeah, what'd you say? What'd you say?
John Cena.
Okay. All right. I had him scheduled in for Austin Theory. You don't like that match better?
I don't know. I mean,
man, come on. The answer's obvious, dude. The answer's obvious.
Who am I missing?
Goldberg.
Who?
Goldberg.
Oh, yeah. Bring Bill in. No, don't do that.
Look, listen. Just hear me out, man. Hear me out. It would be a dog shit match.
It would be.
But it's all choreographed, man. It's all predetermined. You know that Goldberg's last match against Bobby Lashley was a lot of fun. Bobby Lashley's not that much younger than Steve Austin. You put Austin in there, Goldberg, they script out some big brawl between the two of them. I know the match itself would be dog shit, and it might run Stone Cold away from having any other matches, but you can't tell me that it's not one of those weird dream matches that we never got that we should have gotten.
Here's the thing. I'm sure one of the reasons that they put Kevin Owens with Stone Cold is because they know Kevin Owens could like guide the match essentially and make it solid.
You think Owens was calling that match? You think Owens in there calling that match with Stone Cold?
Well, I'm sure it was worked out in advance, but yeah, I'm sure Kevin Owens was the one that was
trying to call this match with me? I'm Stone Cold. I'm the ringmaster. Next spot. Oh man, I don't know. I think no, you're absolutely right. They put him in there because Kevin Owens can bring anything to a good match, or anyone into a good match. And so yeah, I know Stone Cold would be the guy that would be guiding this match to a good match. But here's the thing: you don't need it to be a good match. You do a bunch of stunts. It's wrestling. Who cares? There's like a combined age of 110 between these two guys.
That's the thing, though, is that Austin was like, I'm not going to do it just to do it. I'm only going to do it if I think it could, be up to snuff with the benchmark that I established during my career. If he didn't think he could do that with Goldberg, I don't know if he'd want to.
What benchmark did he set? A 3-star match? That's what he gave us. His matches were nothing to really be. He had like 3 good matches. They're all against The Rock, and they're all at WrestleMania. Beyond that, he was just a brawler. But it's Stone Cold, it's Goldberg. It's the oh, how about this? Okay. You veto that? Fine. How about this?
Don't want that.
Look in my eyes. What do you see? CM Punk versus. Come on, man.
I know Phil really wants that match.
Larson, revisit that electric
time ship. We don't have a time ship.
So back in 2014,
something I think like that. Phil was on the cover of the game, right?
Or 2013 to promote WWE 2K14 or something like that. They had Stone Cold, JR, and CM Punk sit down for like a little promo thing. It was like a promo interview. And I swear to God, it was like all 3 of those dudes just woke up from a nap.
It was awkward.
It was like they had all like done a microdose gummy. And we're like, because we need to chill out. It's like, no, you need to bring some fire. You need some intensity here.
Yeah, light on intensity.
There was no intensity. Stone Cold's, I'm at a time ship. We ain't got a time ship to go back in time. It was all about, could CM Punk hack it in the Attitude Era locker room?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?
What do you think Phil had to say about that? Of course he thought so.
Of course he could.
Would he have been self-designated locker room leader back then?
Oh, dude, yeah, he would have been. They'd have dropped so many turds in his duffel bag for that.
Yell at people to pick up their trash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see where that gets him with. I don't know, with Undertaker. I don't know who was a locker room tough guy back in the Attitude Era. Dr. Death. I wonder what Dr. Death would say about CM Punk telling people his trash.
Question.
Yeah,
that's a good question.
Oh, this is good. Austin versus LA Knight. That's good.
There we go. I can get aboard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know who else is of the ilk of a Kevin Owens would be a good idea here.
Well, that's why I mentioned John Cena.
John Cena, yeah.
You have the top star of the Attitude Era versus the top star of the John Cena era doing battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's kind of crazy, because Stone Cold kind of burned out back in 2003 or whenever it was, that there was like right around the corner, there was a ton of dream matches just right there for the pickings. Did he ever have an actual match against Brock? Because I know that he walked out on that one that he was supposed to lose.
No.
Wow.
Don't believe so.
That's crazy.
Don't believe so.
John Cena, that's a good one. Although I think one thing I don't want is we're gonna roast in the comments for this though. John Cena versus Logan Paul. I don't really want to watch that match.
No.
Who would you book Logan Paul at WrestleMania, dude? After his stellar performance, oh my God, the new wrestling god, Logan Paul.
Have him take on celebrity guy Braun Strowman. Logan can win that match.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a bathroom break match. I'm good with that. That's
5 minutes.
Logan Paul, we don't need you flippy floppers. You should be bagging groceries at hashtag Kroger.
And then he wins.
And then Braun wins that match? Yeah, Logan wins that match.
Logan wins that match.
Yeah, Logan needs to get a win. He got a win against Miz.
He beat Miz.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm down to see Stone Cold have another match. If he wants to have another match, screw it. It's WrestleMania.
Yeah, more power to him.
Oh no, here we go. This finishes the segment. TJB here in our YouTube chat says Steve Austin versus Uncle Howdy. That's it. That's it.
Sorry. For all the titles.
For all the titles. Uncle Howdy takes it off Roman night 1, loses it beats Austin night 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You think
Uncle Howdy wins the Rumble?
You think Roman's had a long reign with the titles? Just see what Uncle Howdy does.
Right, yeah.
10 years as champion. Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy, the new Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, sitting ringside all the UFC shows for 10 years.
Oh, I love it. I think that's fantastic. Larson, is it time to pay some bills? Should we do that now?
Sure, we can do that. We can do that. Let's take a quick break here, friendos. This episode of Going in Raw is brought to you by BetterHelp. I've spoken about it before here on the show, but there was a time in my life where I kind of wish that life came with a user manual because I got really overwhelmed by life's challenges and started dealing with severe anxiety, and it got to the point where I realized that I needed to go to therapy.
So therapists are trained to assist you in figuring out the causes of challenging emotions and help you learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the nearest thing to a user manual of the complex engine called you.
That's true, Steve. Well, it took me a while to find someone I felt comfortable talking to. Once I did, I was able to learn the tools I needed to better cope with my anxiety. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable.
So you just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with the therapist, and if things aren't clicking, you can easily just switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler.
No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/raw. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
Pretty eventful SmackDown this past Friday. We had the Usos breaking
the record isn't today. They broke the record.
It's today, right? Yeah, I thought it was at the end of last week, but it's today. Okay,
today, yeah.
Big, huge day for the Usos, so that's cool for them. Roman even shined him up a little bit. No Sammy this week on SmackDown. I don't know what's going on. Was there any reports as to what the deal with that is? So yeah, no, it was kind of a big story, big question marks about whether or not Jey Uso was going to even be able to wrestle, but he wrestled the fucking 30-minute match.
Yeah.
That was a really long match.
It was. It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, you give the Usos and New Day time, and they put on awesome matches. We've seen that throughout the years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I look forward to the day when this feud is revisited. And there's something also pretty major on the line because, like the matches are good as is, you add some weight to it.
Oh yeah.
Some stakes.
Yeah.
Man, They know how to kick it up a notch.
Dude, they made this feel like such a big deal. Oh yeah, so White Brownie here in Twitch chat, and who is this? Tony here in YouTube chat says, yeah, Cole had said that it was personal issues.
Oh, gotcha.
I know that he had tweeted out something fairly poignant about I forget with regards to the religious stuff, and then a link to the Sammy for Syria thing. So whatever if he's going through some stuff, our heart goes out to him. Sammy seems like a fucking awesome person, doesn't he?
Yeah,
seems like he's the best person.
Really does.
So but yeah, no, this, it was kind of apropos that he wasn't there, because this is about the Usos and the New Day. The Usi stuff is great, but the Usos and the New Day, this is a rivalry for the ages. And yeah, it's kind of awesome that the New Day got to experience that long streak, breaking the record. And now the Usos got to too. I didn't think that this was going to happen, but man, this bloodline thing has really has juiced up the Usos, and they've broken that record now. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We also got the idea of who Bray's first feud might be against, and I don't know if I would have predicted this one. LA Knight.
So do you think this is going to be like an actual feud, or is this just going to be like Bray's? This could be one of two things. It could totally be a feud. They could totally have a match, and you're probably right. But like Bray is also just sort of wandering around backstage SmackDown every week, encountering different people. He headbutted LA Knight. Now, for all we know on SmackDown, they're going to have an actual match. Hell, that might have even been announced on WWE.com at this point. But yeah, no, that was kind of interesting that if this is his first feud since coming back, it's going to be, yeah, dummy. Look at that incel Uncle Howdy up there. Yeah, tell him to get down here with that mask on his face. Yeah, you look like a blueberry. It could be amazing, by the way. That entire feud what a weird clash of styles.
Give the two of them 20 minutes to do a promo off. Oh my God.
Yeah, right. And then a 40-minute match.
Heck yeah. First hour of SmackDown in 2 weeks' time.
Let them try to put on a match of the year candidate.
Hell yeah. Heck yeah. That'd be fantastic. So it seems that we're getting kind of, to a degree, different iterations of Bray, not so much with the mask stuff, not necessarily talking about, but sometimes like when he comes to the ring, especially, you get him, as he said, this is me. This is who I am. No mask this time. But then some of this backstage stuff, especially when you start seeing the flashing stuff, whether it's, during when he's berating the stage manager a couple weeks ago on SmackDown or here against LA Knight, we start seeing the flashy cuts or stuff in the background, his logo, it's pretty evident this is angry Bray. Mm-hmm. And this is maybe an aspect of himself that he's trying, as he said, he's kind of in equal measures trying to control, but also kind of reveling it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He'll say that sometimes, for the longest time, I tried not to be proud of what I would do. Mm-hmm. And like this week, he said, I'm just at this point, I'm kind of just ready to be that now. So,
dude, I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of weird super meta take on like what being in wrestling culture does to a person. It's like you're surrounded now. He had his time off and he was able to find some measure of peace, but as soon as he comes back, his demons follow him. Mm-hmm. And he's unable to sort of control them. So it'll be interesting to see how this manifests. I'm glad, look, if this is his first feud and they have a match at Survivor Series, I'm kind of happy that we get to see whatever this is going to, however this is going to manifest itself. Yeah. So yeah, I like this. We got a super chat here on YouTube from Steve Negron. Says they should trade Bobby Lashley for LA Knight. Yeah, Bobby in War Games match against Bloodline. That would actually be sick. Bobby would be pretty cool. That'd be great.
That would be cool. That
awesome.
Would be really cool. I guess one thing to keep in mind with go back to the War Games thing real quick is this. I'm guessing this is all setting up for probably Sheamus and Roman at the Rumble for the titles.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah, that makes sense.
I was trying to think of ways that, or other people that could. I mean, like it made sense for Owens to be the fifth man because then it would kickstart the story with Sammy, potentially the Usos.
Sure.
But
yeah.
Again, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, and then you also have to wonder, like, how is Drew going to factor into that? Because that Cross is probably not going to be done with him. I would hope that he is, but we didn't see Cross this week. I don't think we saw Cross. Did we see Cross
imagine if somehow Cross was the fifth man on the face team.
You hear about what happened at the house show with Cross? What the heck, people?
What the heck?
You can't be throwing liquid at people, man. This isn't the old times where it's just beer. These days, you never know what people are going to throw at you. My goodness gracious. Fans, they're out of control, Larson.
They're out of control.
We also have the next contender for Ronda Rousey's SmackDown title.
Yes.
And that would be Shotzi Blackheart. Or just Shotzi now. And, of course, they did the thing again where Shayna Baszler approaches her backstage and takes her ass out. Says, you're not going to talk this mess to Ronda Rousey's face. And then Shotzi turns around and Ronda's there, and then she gets choked out. Never turn your back on Shayna Baszler, people. Don't do it. Don't get distracted. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Walk away slowly because she's going to choke you out.
Let's go.
Back
No
up.
problems here.
No problems here. All spirit of competition.
We'll see this through in the ring, but right now, no issues, no problems.
And then, of course, the SmackDown World Cup
Kicked off,
man, with some big matches. Can't think of a bigger match than Jinder Mahal, former WWE champion, versus former Universal champion Braun Strowman. A couple of heavyweights throwing hands. Thought this thing was going to go 20 minutes. Went 2.
Went 2, yeah. I would say lucky if you got 5, including Jinder's promo.
Hey, but Jinder's back, man. He's not being hindered any longer.
No.
Well,
I mean,
maybe
lost.
he is. He lost in a pretty quick fashion.
He is back.
He's back. Yeah.
He is back.
Dude, Maggie here in chat, she has right. Jinder's theme, I can never listen to that enough. It's amazing. Yeah. It's so great.
It is really good. It's really good. That one I get stuck in my head, and then Jamie Hayter's theme I get stuck in my head.
Oh, that's a fun one too. I like that she walks with such a degree of urgency to that theme too. That's what helps.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the theme though. You know,
it's got like, energy. Man, you better. Yeah, the theme is like, you better hurry up. Better get over there. She's like, okay, all right, theme, I'll do it.
Show kicked off. Yeah. Show kicked off with the tag title bout: Usos versus New Day. Roman, Solo, and Heyman. They're backstage in Roman's locker room, watching it all, and we can go through a bunch of moves.
Oh man,
great stuff!
Go watch it. Just go watch it.
Just go watch it.
They did the thing. They did the thing
minutes.
where they beat the shit out of each other for like 20 minutes, and they stood up. And they stood up, and they're like, "Come on!"
And then hockey fight.
David Bixenspan on Twitter apparently hates it. I saw a tweet from him.
Oh,
he
really?
Said, stop doing the West Side Story thing.
Well,
and I'm like, you know what? I like it. I think it's cool. I think they need to double down on the West Side Story thing. Hey, Usos, you're not cool. We are the New Day. You're a couple of fools.
Wow. Did you just make that up on the spot? Good job.
On the spot, man. On the spot.
Did you ever watch the Spielberg West Side Story movie?
Oh, man. Never watched the original. Never watched the Spielberg one. I have no desire to watch that crap, dude.
All right.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you have something important to say about it? What was it? Cool?
No, I'm not a huge fan of musicals. Just curious. I know you like Grease at least. I didn't know if you'd be into it.
Grease is the only musical that I think has any validity. It should ever existed. They should have done one musical in the entirety of cinema, and it should have been Grease. Unless they had released Cats with the Assholes.
There you go.
If they had released the butthole version of Cats, that
might be tops.
Yeah, that'd be that'd beat Grease. But you can't beat the fucking soundtrack for Grease. You know, they're singing about cars and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah. Singing about cars.
Beauty school dropout.
Yeah.
You are a loser.
Really, that was the lyrics.
That was the lyrics. Beauty school dropout. Fucking loser.
So the finish of this match so the match breaks down. Xavier Woods is sent to the timekeeper area. Usos are looking for a double suplex on Kofi. He fights them off. He's looking for a top rope splash on Jimmy and Jay. Instead, Usos counter with a 1D to get the W.
Yeah. No, just terrific stuff.
It was a great finish.
After that, the Usos trying to get some of that tribal chief validation going to Roman's locker room, and Roman, of course, trolls him a little bit. They're sitting there just waiting for this asshole to give him a little bit of validation. Instead, he sits there all slow. He gets up and he's like, big smile on his face. Feels good, right? This is what being the greatest of all time feels like. Now that you got that done, it's time for me to handle some stuff. Because, of course, it's always about Roman.
Exactly.
He says, but I need you all by my side because I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it the right way. We're going to handle business in the ring tonight. And then he gives him hugs, and especially Jay. He a little bit longer for Jay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
It's been a rough few months for Roman and Jay, so hopefully this is the start to them making amends.
Probably going to be worse.
It probably will be. So then we got our first match for the SmackDown World Cup. Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Santos Escobar. Before the match, we got a Escobar promo. He says, I'm just not representing Mexico tonight. I'm going to show Nakamura how Legado deal with reckless people. And during the match, another great theme, Legados. And then Michael Cole actually promoted Nakamura's match against the Great Muta going down January 1st.
God damn it. Why are they doing? They're going to tank our stocks if people think there's wrestling elsewhere. What are they doing to my money? Anyways, this is a killer match. They should have given this a little bit more time.
That finish was great.
Yeah, this was awesome. A super Phantom driver? Are you kidding me? Get out of here with that.
Awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was really cool stuff.
So Escobar advances thanks to towards the finish. Yeah, Nakamura's looking for Kinshasa. Joaquin Wilde pulls Santos out of the ring, and then Nakamura gets up on the top rope. Santos kicks him. Super Phantom driver to get the win. It's good stuff. Really good stuff.
After that, LA Knight, He says the only thing that needs to be acknowledged is a major fumble of not having me in the SmackDown World Cup. Yeah, every single one of you out there, hope, I wish. And then like Bray's logo goes on the screen behind him and distracts Megan, the interviewer. He says, I hope, I wish you get as far as you need to, but at the end of the day, it's all for naught, huh? Why is that? Because I can't stop this gravy train. And then Megan looks over at the Bray logo thing again. He's like, what are you doing? Why are you looking at that? What is that? And then he turns around and he sees it himself. He says, turn this trash off. It's my time. And then Bray walks in and says, we've never met, man. My name's Bray, and now we could be friends. I think I understand you more than you think I do. I could see all the anger and rage brewing inside you. Me too, man. My whole life, people were telling me that my rage was making a monster out of me. And the thing is, for the longest time, I pretended not to be proud of the things I do. But I don't know how true that is anymore, because I know what it takes to get respect, man. And I'm asking you, how far you willing to go? And he says, how far I'm willing to go ain't none of your damn business. Yeah. How far you willing to go is back to your little romper room. He says, back to your little romper room and play with your little puppet. Stick them anywhere that gives you pleasure. He says, it's okay with me, but at the end of the day, nobody asked you whose game it is. It's LA Knight's game. And then Bray's logo flashed on the monitor. He sort of laughs it off, but then he headbutts LA Knight out of nowhere.
Yep. Yeah. Feud of the year potential right here.
Oh, man, that killed my voice right there.
So good. It could be so good. Then we got the six-pack challenge to determine new number one contender for SmackDown Women's Championship. So down towards the finish, Raquel hits Xia Li with the powerbomb cover. Sonya pulls her out of the ring. And then Sonya gets in, covers Xia. Raquel pulls Sonya out of the ring, hits her with the boot. And then Raquel gets a table out from under the ring and sets it up. Mm-hmm. So kind of near the announce table. There's the ring steps over there close to the announce table as well. She positions those. So she sets up the powerbomb Sonya through the table, and then Liv dives on them both. And apparently there was like a miscommunication about the spot. So they all missed the table. And then back of the ring, Shotzi catches a kick from Lacey Evans, hits her finish to get the win. So Shotzi will be facing Ronda Rousey.
I think Dave Meltzer mentioned that the table spot was supposed to have been changed somehow.
And it wasn't relayed to Liv,
Yeah, or it was just a brain fart, who knows. So anyways, backstage, Emma walks up to Shotzi, congratulates her, says, I know you can take out Ronda Rousey. And then Shotzi says, you took Ronda to her limit. That's what we should name one of those ACW shows.
To the limit?
To the limit.
Well, it's also the name of an Eagles song.
Take it could be the official theme song.
Yeah.
It's just we won't play it anywhere. We'll just call it the official theme song.
The official theme song, but we can't play it,
Right. It's like, hey, load it up on Spotify.
All right, everybody, load up on Spotify. 3, 2, 1, press play.
Press it. We could all just be like, so do it on the highway. Do it. Take it to the limit.
One more time.
So anyways, So they're doing this thing where Emma's like, have you seen Madcap around? And Shotzi's like, oh my gosh, you're crushing on him. And she's like, no, I'm not. And then she leaves. This is like some high school shit. And then Shayna steps in. Because Emma and Madcap, they're a thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like in realsies, yeah. So then Shayna steps in. And then she's like, enjoy the time in your spotlight, nerd. She says, Ronda's going to give you the beating of a lifetime because she's going to cause you more pain and anguish than she's ever felt. Than you've ever felt. And then she says, what you actually won out there was a broken arm or having your ankle snap like a twig. Shotzi says, Ronda's never been in the ring with someone like me, and I might just surprise Ronda, Shayna, and the entire world. And then Shayna says, you sure have a lot to say to Ronda. Turn around and say it to her face. And then Shotzi turns around, and Ronda's just standing there lurking. And then Shayna chokes the shit out of Shotzi.
Yeah. Yep. Then we got a Ricochet interview. He says the World Cup isn't just a chance to compete against some of the best in the world. It's a chance to go out there and earn a shot to get back what is mine. And he says, yeah, I got Ali, and there's nobody who's more talented or as hungry as he is, or nobody knows how talented and hungry he is, more so than myself, Ricochet. So Imperium steps in, and Gunther says, well, what do you mean, what's yours? Didn't you have enough last time? He says to Ricochet, I want you to fight with all your heart because I'd love to beat you again.
Yeah. Oh, man. Wouldn't mind seeing that match again, but I don't think that's going to happen. After that, we had Jinder Mahal versus Braun Strowman. So Jinder's got a promo. He's taking a look at that World Cup. And wasn't it like the same as the Best in the World Cup? Yeah.
They look pretty similar, yeah. They
Bring Shane O'Mac back.
No.
Best in the world.
No.
That was hilarious when they brought him to sub in. What was it, Dolph?
For Dolph, yeah.
And then he won the whole thing. That was great. Like they have hella wrestlers backstage, and they do that with him.
I know.
That angle was pretty damn funny though. Afterwards, when he was all full.
It was,
himself.
but he was still, for the most part, pretty insufferable when he was.
He booked that shit, man. Probably. He showed up and was like, "All right, I'm gonna win, best in the world with your baked potato face." After that, we had So Jinder had a promo. He says, "I'm back tonight." And I begin my ascent to my rightful spot by first winning the World Cup and then becoming Intercontinental Champion. And then Jinder attacks Braun during his entrance, but it doesn't really give him the upper hand because he's Braun Strowman. He turns the table, wins with a power bomb, showing once again that monsters beat those flippy wrestlers. Bag your groceries at Kroger #. Jinder Mahal, definitely a flippy high flyer wrestler, right, Larson?
No.
No.
So then we got B-Fab versus Zelina Vega, or so we thought. Sarah Logan shows up on ramp. Viking Raiders attack Legado and Hit Row. So then Logan comes down, lays out B-Fab. Zelina escapes through the crowd, and then the Viking Raiders just proceed to completely destroy Hit Row. Ivar hits Ashanti with a top rope splash, and then both Ivar and Eric hit Top Dollar with double team powerbomb. And then Sarah Logan brings B-Fab into the ring and hits her with like a pop-up headbutt.
Yeah, man. It's good to see Sarah Logan back. But like, we're going to talk about like the fact that she basically just ripped off Maxie Impaler. Man, to watch people do mental gymnastics, like trying to say, oh, people actually said this. Like, because I posted like, I don't know, some joking retweet about it.
Yeah.
That's a stretch. It's kind of not. There's like, you could see like on both sides. Like you could literally side by side. You could see like just how to the detail.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
That's a stretch, really?
Yeah, dude. Here's the thing. I muted all those people, but here's the thing that kind of bugs me about it. Well, it bugs me that, she did that. But like, I understand Vikings is their thing. I get that. But do you honestly think that there's one Viking look that she could have adopted? There's like a whole variety of like Viking sort of aesthetic that she could have done that wasn't so directly what Max the Impaler has already done.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, I don't know that there's any excuse for that. Like, you're all in pro wrestling. Are you on network TV and Max the Impaler isn't? Sure. But like, really? Like, nobody stopped you and said, hey, somebody's already doing this and they might have career aspirations for WWE. And even if they don't, like, even if it's like, dude, and you're just gonna, it just brings you needless attention. What was an awesome return? Like, half of Twitter was talking about this.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, use a different aesthetic. Use a different Viking thing. So, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
saw some of that stuff too. I'm like, yeah, why? Yeah. What's the line from was it Looper? Be new.
Be new. Do something new.
Yeah.
Do something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's get your own.
And I know, like I've seen people like Fluffy Canuck here says something. Ivor from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That's fine, but like Ivor is a video game character, not a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like Sarah Logan, she had was it no Becky was doing the Horizon Zero Dawn look, I think, for a second.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about,
and it's like that's one thing, but if a wrestler is already doing it, if a wrestler in the wrestling industry,
somebody in the same industry that you're in is already doing it,
who's starting to make their way up and getting on TV, like, and I know it's Impact, it's not Fox, it's on, what is the channel that Impact's on?
Access.
Who cares? It's TV, right?
Yeah.
You know? It's like, man, can you just find something else?
Yeah. No, agreed 100%.
Yeah.
The main event segment, Bloodline promo. They all come to the ring. Roman tells the crowd to acknowledge him. Of course they do. He hands the mic back to Heyman. So Heyman says himself and Roman were discussing while flying on the private jet to this hellhole there in Indianapolis. So the crowd boos. And Uso says, well, Heyman says, that's not very Usi of you. But what is Usi is all the great sports rivalries that play out here on Fox. And he mentions like U.S. versus United Kingdom, World Cup, and the Cowboys versus the Packers. And he does mention Usos versus the New Day. He's like, oh, who am I kidding? That's not a great sports rivalry because the New Day can't compare to the Usos. No team can. Usos live on the island of relevancy, and the New Day have been cast out to the ocean of obscurity, like any being that has ever stepped up to challenge Roman. So then Roman, he wants the mic back. He says, it's not easy being my cousin. Our whole lives, everyone has acknowledged me for my greatness, and I never thought this moment would come. But Jimmy, Jay, it's like he's about to maybe say something at least somewhat nice. Mm-hmm. He's interrupted by Butch, Ridge Holland, Brawling Brute. So Ridge says he and Butch are sick of the bloodline using numbers game every week, but it's fight night, we've brought backups. Sheamus is back. Couldn't find a working microphone, however, because he's trying to say stuff, but his mic keeps cutting out. You can hear him say, tonight is the start of the end of the bloodline, and Roman's laughing his ass off. He says, you can't even get your mic to work. What are you even going to do?
Yeah. He had a little extra in his voice there. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So Sheamus and the Brutes come to the ring. Huge brawl breaks out. Bloodline gets the advantage. Drew McIntyre comes to the ring. He takes out the Usos. Solo steps up to him. Drew eventually drops him with the clothesline. Roman hits Drew with a boot. And then Sheamus starts going after Roman. And the show just goes off the air with everybody fighting each other.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess if there's any... I mean, it's not really a cause of silver lining, but at least for people on TV, it's not like Owens has already been introduced into the angle and they got to pull him back. So they can still pivot without it being too awkward on screen. But I don't know, man. Kevin Owens is a tough dude. I'll believe that he's out. Well, he's not technically in now, but
he's not really on TV.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
We also had a Rampage, of course. Full Gear is this coming weekend. We're going to be doing
Saturday.
Our live watch along of it this Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. And yeah, were there any more matches added to?
No, not during the show. I don't believe they did announce that Eddie Kingston and Ortiz are taking on Takeshita and Jun Akiyama.
Yeah,
which is a dream match for Eddie Kingston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
on Rampage on Friday, so coming Friday. So that's good. That's awesome for Eddie.
That is really cool. Yeah, that is awesome for him. Let's see here. I want to see. So are we still at 10 matches right now?
We're up to 10. I thought we were just at 8.
We're at 9 right now.
Oh dear.
Because they included, did this stem from Dynamite or this week? Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy.
Oh yeah, that's the one they made official because you knew that match was going to happen. But yeah, it's Jungle Boy. That's what kicked off the show. Jungle Boy challenged Luchasaurus to a cage match.
Yeah. I mean, the bottom line, it's funny because I went back and I looked at the Full Gears, and it sort of put me a little bit at ease because all the pay-per-views are around 3 hours and 50 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. Then you add the pre-show, it's up to just under 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if I know that going into it, I think it'll make it a little bit easier. If you're just sort of in this weird, vortex of space and time where you're like, when is this thing ever going to end? Yeah, it's 3 hours and 45 minutes. You have a countdown. You can count it down now.
We'll test out that hypothesis on Saturday.
I know. I'd be miserable like halfway through. Like, when is this thing going to end? It's like that fishing trip I took that one time.
I know. It's going to be like sitting at sands flashing lights right in your face. It's going to be like we were at WrestleMania in Orlando.
That was a nightmare. That was
because not only was it flashing lights, it was a long day.
It was a
really
long
7 hours. It was a long day.
And the weather was miserable.
It was humid.
It was so humid.
And it was just a long day.
Yeah.
So it kicked off with Christian. Luchasaurus coming down for a promo. Christian calls out Jungle Boy. So Jungle Boy comes to the ring and Christian tells him, hey, if you're going to be around here issuing challenges, maybe actually become a challenge. I squashed you in less than 10 seconds. Luchasaurus pinned you in Toronto. We were done with you. We were moving on to championship gold, but then you stuck your nose in our business and cost Luchasaurus his title match a couple weeks back. So Luchasaurus Jungle Boy says, you're complaining about one match. One match. You cost me everything. And so he says, because of all that, we challenged Luchasaurus to a cage match Full Gear. So Christian says, maybe Jungle Boy realized you're just not as good as everyone said you are. Maybe you realize all of your success was due to me. He says, you realize you're not a pillar in this company after all. The real pillar is Luchasaurus. It's obvious that Jungle Boy isn't going away, so we'll have to put you down for good. We accept your challenge. Just make sure your mom is ringside so she can realize that, like your father, you're all looks.
Damn.
And so Jungle Boy grabs Christian by the throat. Luchasaurus lays him out. And then Christian puts a chair in the ring. And Luchasaurus choke slams Jungle Boy on top of it.
That was a gnarly choke slam, too.
Yeah,
so this has got to be
that chair.
Full Gear's got to be where Jungle Boy gets his, right?
You would think so.
I'm going to have high confidence points on that one, man.
You got MJF winning. You got the Acclaim winning. Jade will win. Saraya will win. Jungle Boy will win. I mean, Sting never loses. So Sting and Darby got to beat Double J and Jay Lethal.
Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely.
Tony Storm.
Yeah, nobody's thinking, well, it's Jeff Jarrett's first match in AEW. Doesn't matter.
No, that doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
If anything, they'll lose, and then Jeff Jarrett will turn on Jay Lethal.
Well, the biggest heat here, man, they're buddies for life. The biggest heat here is, the biggest thing was Darby Allin getting pinned by the garage door and getting put in the figure 4. That was the big traumatic event, so he's got to get his shit in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then you got to expect Chris Jericho is going to walk out still Ring of Honor champion, but
that one's kind of a question mark. But yeah, I think that if he's going to lose it, it's got to be one-on-one against somebody.
You would think so.
But that could be, that's going to be low confidence points because there's so much going on there.
Yeah.
Tony Storm's going to be Jamie Hayter. Ethan Page versus Ricky Starks. I think that Ethan Page is going to win that, but I don't know. Because, well, on the other hand, if MJF walks out as champion, I don't know if Ethan Page versus, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Unless they just have Ethan Page win to further the idea that there's no, I don't know. Whoever's going to win that's going to feed into the story of MJF and the Firm, That's going
to be interesting because if the Firm is still secretly backing MJF, which I think is a possibility, wouldn't it be kind of cool if the Firm is backing MJF but nobody told Ethan Page? And then you sort of spin MJF or Ethan Page off onto his own because there can't be, you want to make Ethan Page like an alpha guy, like a top guy. Yeah. And if they're just backing MJF, he shouldn't be in that position.
No.
But then I don't know. They sort of are kind of simple with their stories and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know. Next, we had a Death Triangle interview. So Phoenix is about to talk. Pac interrupts him. Says, "There's a reason you're not All Atlantic champion. There's a reason, Penta, you're not world champion. There's a reason that Eddie isn't the Eliminator tournament anymore. You all have to be smart and take every opportunity that comes your way." All the time, he's holding that ring bell hammer. He says, "We've got a huge target on our backs, and we must defend these trios titles by any means necessary." So they have a match on Wednesday against Top Flight and AR Fox.
Yeah, it's cool to see AR Fox on TV.
That is really cool. The Elite's coming back on Wednesday, though.
Yeah, that's totally happening. They're going to get those titles back, but I hope Pac doesn't take that as a sign he should drop the hammer. The hammer should stay with him. It should be his best friend. He should
That should be like when he lost the Cruiserweight title, he was miserable.
Right, exactly.
But at least now he has Hammer.
Yeah. I'm going to put up a poll here for our chatters on both things.
Sounds
here.
good.
All Ego or Starks.
There we go. Then we had Brian Cage versus Dante Martin, Eliminator tournament bout. Dante Martin, man, hell of a performer.
Oh, dude, he's amazing.
I'm hoping. Been hoping this whole time at some point he'd get like a real push.
Yeah,
because he's great. His brother's back, so maybe now Top Flight will get a push in the tag division because they're both great. Brian Cage gets the win here. Weapon X hits that to get the win.
I say send him to Ring of Honor. Dante and Darius, let them explore like their characters more. If Ring of Honor ever becomes, I don't know. We've been told a million times that the streaming deal is imminent.
Yep,
they're going to announce it any moment now.
Yeah.
But maybe they're waiting for Full Gear. They'll have Tony come out. I got great news. Great news
for
everybody.
Final Battle, they'll announce it.
So over here on YouTube, we got Starks with 77% of the vote, and over here on Twitch, we got Starks with 61% of the vote.
Interesting.
So, interesting.
Then we got a Lee Moriarty and Stokely Hathaway interview. So Lee says, "My confidence is at an all-time high right now after that Mox match, and while I didn't win, I proved I could compete with the best in AEW. But now it's time to get back on track, and it's time to start collecting some gold. It doesn't matter who's got it." Stokely says Lee wants any champion. Hook steps in. I think he puts a piece of gum in his mouth or something and then walks out.
So, yeah, Hook versus Lee Moriarty for that FTW title. Maybe at the buy-in, perhaps?
Yeah, it could be. It'd be a bummer when Lee Moriarty has to lose to Hook.
I know. But it's pro wrestling. After that, we had another one of those cool House of Black video packages.
They were actually reborn in this one.
It's confirmed they're reborn. Like, I don't know how much cooler they can make them look. Like, how much, like, are they going to, I don't know what you could do. Because they already look so cool with all their, like, their face paint and stuff. I don't know what kind of, like, reborn, unless they're all going to come out looking like Brody King had, like, it looked like he was made of granite. Like, he had been buried, right? Like,
it was ash. He was covered in ash.
Oh, he was ash. He was ash. Yeah, that's right.
So if you can have Brody covered in ash. So Malachi was reborn via fire. So
so he's like the Human Torch now.
So there was like fire on him.
They do like some of those Smackdown AR graphics.
There you go, but fire.
Yeah, right. AR, is that right? ARG, what are they called?
And then Buddy was reborn via water.
Yeah.
So he just come out like after you just pour a bottle of water on him. He's wet. It's fine.
Yeah, he's all soggy. He's all.
Yeah, he's got the easiest one. Yeah, I know.
His shoes are all
like, why are my boots all? Gosh, my boots are all soggy.
Squeak. Yeah. They give Malachi some really lame, like sort of like fiery frill. Type
You remember
stuff.
at the old Arco Arena when the crowd would get loud enough on the scoreboard and the DB meter, and they'd have some fabric shoot out the top to make it look like fire.
Yeah,
something like that.
Right. Yeah. Terrible.
Yes.
So Fudgy here in Twitch chat says the narrator in those House of Black videos is the dude that plays Pinhead from the original Hellraiser series. So that's really cool. Yeah, that's a great voice there.
Oh yeah. Then we got Roosh versus Bandito, another Eliminator title bout. Somewhat surprised that Bandito got the win here. Finish saw Roosh get a chair from Jose, so the ref's over dealing with Roosh with the chair, and while rest busy over there, Jose tries to take off Bandito's mask. Well, John Silver comes to ringside. Jose runs up to meet him. Silver punches him, and while Roosh is distracted by all that, Bandito rolls him up to get the win.
I'm kind of surprised too, but also Bandito just
signed. Yeah.
After like 3 reports that he had signed, finally he got the graphic and it was confirmed that he actually did sign with AEW. So I kind of get it. It's just funny that it's sort of like, I guess, furthering a feud between Roosh and John Silver. I know they're doing the whole thing with 10 and everything, but I don't know. The whole thing is kind of good. Roosh needs to move on. He needs to go to Tony and be like, I'm done with this Dark Order stuff. Is 10 in or is he not? Okay. Yeah. No, we're good. Yeah.
Yes.
No, Roosh is great, though. He's awesome.
Yeah, Roosh is great. Then we got a Claudio interview, but Jake Hager steps in right away. He says, hey, we go back a long ways. We were a great team once. You're a really good pro wrestler, but you'd be even better sports entertainers. Maybe you should think about sports entertaining again.
Entertaining. I agree. Claudio should. Also, I don't like Claudio no-selling the handshake. I don't like that. It's awkward, weird. Just shake his hand. He's offering. It's a peace offering. You shake the
Yeah,
damn
but
hand.
he's not friends. He's not friends with Jake Hager. They don't like
Man, they used to travel the road together.
Used to.
You know, they were a tag team.
Used to. Now they're beefing.
Put up the hand. Be like, okay, we'll see what
They're
you have to
beefing,
say. See what you have to say. No, he's trying to recruit him. He's trying to be cool.
Yeah, maybe Claudio wants none of it.
Still shake a hand.
Nah.
Nyla Rose versus Kayla Sparks. Hey, Kayla was next. And Nyla, this was great because Nyla just used a bunch of Jade's moves.
Yeah.
She won with a Jaded.
Yeah.
And then Jade and the baddies come running down. Nyla takes out the baddies. Jade pump kicks Nyla out of the ring. She tries to follow, but Nyla's got all the security guards there. So the security keeps them apart, and they're able to, once again, get away with the TBS title.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then we got a customary pre-main event interview. Orange Cassidy, Lee Johnson. So QT says Lee didn't turn. He came home to the factory tonight. He's going to bring the factory their first title home. And Lee says, I know, Orange, you're a world-class competitor. You're definitely not a cosplayer like Danhausen. And Danhausen says, I'm going to take your teeth or something like that.
I'm going to take your teeth.
And then Orange grabs his own microphone and starts saying Mark Henry's catchphrase.
That's the funniest thing about these Orange Cassidy Rampage main events.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he keeps on messing with Mark Henry and the catchphrase. It's pretty great.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. And that was our main event. Solid enough bout. The outcome was kind of never in doubt. Lee Johnson is really good. Orange, though, retains the title. Hits beach break for the win after escaping a powerbomb afterwards. Cole Carter tries to attack Orange. Orange ducks, hits Cole with an orange punch. And then Best Friends hit Cole Carter with a double choke slam powerbomb combo type deal.
Yeah. So what are we thinking Orange Cassidy is going to do at Full Gear with the All-Atlantic title? You know what they should do? He should do an open challenge, have Miro come in and take that title off.
Oh, that'd be great.
They got to do something with Miro. And from what I can tell from Miro's the social activity, from what CJ Lana has said, they're just not using him. It's not like he's injured or something like that. They're just not using him.
Maybe when House of Black comes back, because he had beef with Malachi for Mystic.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a situation where, again, there's a lot of things that Tony Khan's trying to juggle, and he was like, "All right, I know House of Black's gonna be off TV for a month or two. Miro, we'll get you back on. Not that I agree with this, because you have Miro on TV every week, because it's great. Miro, when they come back, we'll bring you back to. We'll pick up the story where we left off.
There's no good, buddy. What to fight now? Have him take out Orange Cassidy.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But he wins the backpack instead of the title.
Yeah, just he gets the backpack.
It's a nice JanSport backpack.
He opens it up, it's empty. No title in it.
No title in here, buddy. Oh, man. So it looks like, well, let's do this. Let's answer some questions first, because I put up a question thread for SmackDown and Rampage. And then because it looks like Paul's running a little bit late. Also, I'd like to give people the opportunity to, not miss the question thread in case they don't want to listen to Paul's preview, which I don't know why they wouldn't want to listen to Triple H.
I think everybody want to use to listen to the previews. What's going to be on the show tonight?
So we have questions right here on the Patreon, patreon.com/Steven Larson. Of course, we'll keep an eye on YouTube and Twitch chat too, in case you guys have questions. Load up those super chats or whatever else we got going on here on Twitch, bits or whatever it is. CD5 here, subbed. Thank you. David Matuszek says, if Kevin Owens' injury is severe and taken out of possible... Oh, we already talked about this. That. Yeah, sorry.
Blake Whitehouse says, should WWE bring in Nick Aldis as 5th member of War Games team?
Oh, man. Aldis and more. Yeah, what do you think about him saying NWA is a toxic brand now?
I mean, he's been there.
If anybody would know.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, NWA they're getting some of that heat right now.
You got that right.
Aldis as the 5th. You know what? I want to see Aldis in my Impact. That's what I want to see, because we watch Impact every week. We report on it on Fridays. Mm-hmm. I want to see Nick Aldis in Impact.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure how much longer. I mean, I know it doesn't matter. They've been in separate promotions for a while now or whatever.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Mickey James is his wife, and sometimes maybe it just make things easier to go there. But regardless, I want to see him in Impact.
Yeah.
He's going retro.
He's going retro. Tymore asks, do you think we'll see any traditional 5 versus 5 Survivor Series matches of this year's event? I'm holding out hope they might do Judgment Day versus the OC.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like a Survivor Series style match. It'll be 4v4, but still.
That'd be cool, man. You know, give people a little bit of everything. You know, you got the War Games, but you do a traditional Survivor Series. Maybe also find a champion versus champion thing to do.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything there for Survivor Series. What is it?
Give us Gunther versus Seth.
Gunther versus... Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Could you imagine a time limit draw match between those guys? Holy shit.
Be great.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah. Yep.
Cameron Bartolazzo, what are the top 3 feuds in WWE over the last 10 years? He's talking about New Day Usos has to be in there.
Yeah.
You got to put that in there.
You got to put Gargano Ciampa in there.
Put Gargano Ciampa,
so
yeah.
10 years would be since 2014. 2012, sorry, not 2014.
Oh, dude, CM Punk versus Ryback.
Mm.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
That's definitely the one. I'm sorry, Tyrus versus who's the guy that he fought this weekend?
Oh, Trevor Murdoch.
Trevor Murdoch, right there.
I think we're just talking WWE, not NWA, Steve.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Brian versus the Authority.
Yeah,
Triple H versus Larson and the Enforcer. That's
I thought we were Triple H and I were getting pretty friendly.
It's not really a feud anymore, yeah.
No, I thought we were cool.
Oh shit! Speaking of which, he is waiting. He's in the waiting room.
All right.
I have to go do a bunch of paperwork.
Go ahead.
Very important paperwork here. So here we go. Hello,
Triple H.
I'm the game. The game is back here on Going In Raw, this pissant podcast. Steve, how was your weekend? Don't interrupt. I don't care. It was a troll question. I don't care one iota about your weekend. I don't need you to break it down, your weekend. Break it down. No, I'm not going to do that this time. Not doing that this time.
Sorry, you said
I'm here for one reason. One reason. I've been working on this Raw preview for months on months. This is my magnum opus. Tonight is going to be the night. 4 million viewers, total viewership, crushing the demo, beating Monday Night Football. All that's who's playing the big Monday night game tonight.
Eagles.
Don't interrupt me. It's the Eagles and
Washington.
That's right. The Commanders, Generals. Yeah. What are they called?
Commanders. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what they're called. They're all trash compared to tonight's Raw. First up, I know everybody loves this. It's a huge ratings draw. Miz TV.
Can I ask you a question, Triple H?
Yeah, go ahead. I probably deserve it.
Is this going to kick off the show?
I don't know. I'm trying to find. This is what I call a bathroom break segment. Raw is 3 hours long. I can't, assume that people are going to leave during the commercials because we need those to pay the to pay the bills around here. Mm-hmm. But Miz TV, nobody cares about it. But I got my guy Johnny Gargano there. That's good stuff. John, all right, don't interrupt with that. Next, check this match out here. A rematch from SummerSlam 2016 or so. Seth freaking Rollins clashing with Finn Balor of the Judgment Day. It's got the purple versus Seth freaking Rollins with his blonde streak in his hair. I told him, I said, Seth, you should bring that blonde streak back. It looks great. If I had a head of hair, then I'd do that, but I don't do that anymore. I shave my head.
Yeah.
I think I could probably still grow a good head of hair. But it's don't interrupt. It's just easier to keep it like this.
It is. Yeah. Same here. I need to cut my hair too, Triple H.
I do not care about your hair at all in any way, shape, or form.
All right. Anyways, this question.
Don't interrupt. Next.
About this.
What question? What do you have now?
I can't remember. We can move on. Sorry. Apologies.
Look, you're falling apart. I thought you were quality material, but you're trash. You're falling apart.
I got a case the Mondays. Got to be honest with you.
Oh my! Every day is a Monday. I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how are you going to react in uncertain situations when I throw low balls like that at you.
Oh,
curveballs, low balls, yes. High balls, 8 balls. You ever done one of those?
No.
Oh, my God. They're terrible. Next up, Matt Riddle takes on Chad Gable. Is it just me or is Matt Riddle trash now? Thought he was cool, but, man, this guy, I've cooled on him so hardcore.
Yeah, the blooms come off the rose a little bit, huh?
This is just where I put Matt Riddle, I put Chad Gable, I just go have a match. It's some every week. It's Matt Riddle, Chad Gable, Elias, and Otis. Elias is over it all, you know. That's not a character thing. He's just completely over it. He got jerked around too much by Dad, and he knows that I don't really like him either.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he confirmed. I don't like Elias.
Wow.
Trash.
Wow. Do you like his music?
Yeah, it's banger after banger after banger. I mean, it's no Lemmy, it's no Motorhead. I like metal. I like it as hard as can be, you know. Yeah. I like that year Nickelback had the Raw theme. I thought it was very metal. Yeah, it's good stuff. Look at this photograph. That's good stuff. Anyways, I've got so much stuff to take care of.
Oh, okay. Oh, can I ask you one quick question? I remember this with this one. Real quick.
Wow.
So we'd hear a lot of speculation about Stone Cold, CM Punk, WrestleMania. What the chances of that, do you think?
You know, it would
King
be
of Kings, the game.
Okay, I get it. Listen, any wrestling show would be lucky to have the Rattlesnake versus what are they called, Phil? That asshole, Phil Brooks. Yeah,
Best of the world.
The Muffin Man. That guy. Any wrestling card would be lucky to have that. And if we're lucky enough to have that at WrestleMania, then I think it would give the WWE Universe even more good stuff or something. I don't know. We're probably going to have Austin do something. I don't know what he's going to do. That's a long ways away. Not worried about it right now.
All right.
I'll book it out a week in advance.
Sounds good.
Yeah, whatever. No, I'm joking. I got it all written down. It's my master plan. You think I'm going to reveal it to you on this pissant show?
Well,
Steve is an idiot. That's you, by the way.
Do you want to sing some more theme songs before we go out?
Yeah, what do you got?
You want to do...
Which one? What do you got?
Time to play the game.
Yeah, I forget how this one
Play
goes.
the game.
How does this one go? That didn't sound familiar at all.
It is time all about the game.
Yeah, how you play it. They're all about control. Break it down. You can't say it. Evolution is a mystery. Suck it. Break it down. I gotta go now.
All right, have a good one.
He's already gone. How'd that go?
It was a bit rocky at first, but then once we start talking music and we're like singing songs together, it's great.
He really seems to enjoy that aspect of it. I think you bring a little bit of joy to his day, because I noticed that in the last one, that, you know, the whole theme song thing. I'll be honest, I think deep down, he always wanted to be a metalhead. He wanted to be like, not just like a fan metalhead. He wanted to be an actual band guy.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's something to it.
I think you're right. Paperwork went well. Got a lot of it done in that span of time. So that's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways. Hey, YouTube, do us a huge favor. We got 344 people watching right now.
Wow.
Hit that like button.
Yes, please.
Hit that like button. And then once this goes up on VOD, leave us a comment. If you guys are watching this on VOD, leave us a comment. Who do you want to see Steve Austin wrestle at WrestleMania? Who should replace Kevin Owens in War Games?
What theme song should Triple H and I sing on Friday?
Right. All that stuff. Look at boom, up to 81 likes already. Let's get that up. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Yeah, what theme song should they sing? Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.